Who would have thought? Who the world in the world would thought? Who would have thought WAAF, the number one rock station, would go out of business? The battle between God and rock and roll in this scenario has won. I never thought the day I would see this. The day. And this only goes to prove one thing that I have been saying. And I've also been saying that the coronavirus is man-made. Sick to know that there's stuff out there like that, but then an article comes up talking about it, but whatever on that. But I have been saying about this, about the new style of rock and roll. And I'm just baffled. Because, we went from Elvis, to Black Sabbath, to the Beatles, to the Doors, and bands like these that have told tales, stories in their music. And I remember listening to WAF, especially the Liz Wild days. Hell, even back when I first heard Eruption from Eddie Van Halen back in 1978. 79, excuse me. I was at them 2 years screwed up. No, it was 78. But listen, and I was always on a radio, especially the rock station, listening to the Eagles and all these bands that had hit. Even Gary Wright on AAF back in the day. He was a Dreamweaver, My Love Is Alive, Aerosmith. The list would go on to the most creative bands of history. Legendary bands. Hell, even when Joan Jett first stepped on the airwaves. Airwaves, yeah. I mean it. Oh, man. Hearing the news of Randy Rhoads' death on AAF. I mean, it is just a sad day. And now we have Christian music. Of course, I do not believe in God. I'm sorry. I respect everybody's religion and belief, but I go more towards the Native American side of things. And I'm definitely not no praying Indian. Native, excuse me. But to see this come down to, and I remember, man, when Greg Hill mentioned that he might run for governor. I heard that. I just happened to turn on the AF one morning, a couple years back. Oh, maybe I might just run for governor of this fine state of Massachusetts. It's either governor or mayor. I think it might have been governor. But I heard that conversation. And I'm like, what? He was hinting around his retirement. But come to find out, he goes to another fucking radio station to become a sports DJ. Why do you take something golden, platinum, and leave it all behind? You know, Ozzy Osbourne was put on this earth for one thing, to sing. And he said it one day that he will never retire until he's in a coffin. And you gotta think that man has been through hell and back in the past year. And now he's got a new album out. Hell, even Elton John sang a song with the Ozman. Sir Elton John, mind you. Awesome fucking tune of a collaboration. Who would have thought that? Because, you know, even though Elton John's the rocket man, more entirely towards the soft rock or rock and roll gender, coming up with the heavy metal madman and kicking out a tune that tells of an ordinary man. And I'm just still baffled, mesmerized that this would even happen. I mean, and for Greg Hill to just retire in this, and obviously he's saying that he's done it all, which to me is BS. I think he could have done more. Because you know what? The rock and roll heavy metal world as we see it, the songs that are good don't get played. The songs that are shitty, oh my God. I'm just baffled. I'm mesmerized. Sickened. And I've been saying it all along. Some of the music today just needs to go away. And I've turned on AAF before it got shut off. I was in and out. And the songs that they came up with, oh man, I just couldn't stomach it. And it would be a chance, high chance in fucking hell if I would hear the new Korn song. I did catch it 3 times. Other than that, nothing. And I mean, have been and went back, because I used to always switch through AAF and ZLX, where ZLX is playing now more of the 80s and early 90s music of the hits. I can see why people have made WZLX number 1. Pardon me a moment. I just can't believe that one of the hottest rock and roll stations of all time in the New England state of Massachusetts. But then again, it don't go as far as friggin' Connecticut, but I mean, oh man. It's just sad. Because it's coming down to the point where it's true. Rock and roll is dying. It's not dead. Heavy metal's not dead. It's dying, though. And this is living proof right here. Well, what's this? Oh, man. Nothing like shoving the ghost, the Holy Spirit, down your throat. I'm sorry. Today is a big change in history. I mean, yeah, you're going to get all your Christians out there listening to great music. I mean, I asked the person for a ride one time. Respect her dearly. Because my truck broke down. And, respect her dearly. But I got stuck listening to goddamn gospel music. And church station. Alrighty then. But I respected it. I don't judge nobody for their religion. You believe in what you believe. I believe in what I believe. But just to see the biggest rock and roll station fall and crumble. What is this world coming to? For rock and roll not to be looked at as just getting a friggin' album recorded. Oh yeah, make $1 million and we're done. That's it. I remember Wolf Mother, perfect example. This band wanted to get women crawling all over them. And they had the balls enough to say it in it. God damn it. Say it in an interview. Oh, we wanted girls to come to our show and da-da-da-da. And ended up being all men. I mean, they did get some women, but they got more men than women. Where is that band now? Well, let me tell you. They're not on the air anymore. They never will be. And they quit making music. And if that, for Christ's sakes, is the majority of what bands think they're going to get out of for making music, the million hits, the $1 million, and then leave, well, then that right there is not music tree. It's not music at all. It's not the damn bands that are legendary. And the list goes on with me. I've listened to music from Dolly Parton to Johnny Cash to ABBA to the Kool in the Gang. Stuff. I went to the disco era. I like some disco now and then. You know, didn't have to die, but it did, unfortunately. But there was some good music, like the Gap Band, stuff like that. I mean, it didn't have to die. They could have went some way and some could have went this way, but that's another thing back in the days. Music was sort of a competition. Who can make it better? Of course, when Eddie Van Halen entered the guitar world, well, we all know where that fell. And disco fell out a bit. But, no shame. Music continued on through the 80s. Judas Priest. You know, the talents of Jake E. Lee from Ozzy. The Styx. Love the Styx. You know, all these bands. And then you got your new generation of Skid Row, Bon Jovi, you know, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue. I mean, don't get me wrong. They turn and twist things unimaginable. And then you get bands like Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer. It all revolved and evolved overkill, Sepultura. Then we're getting real heavy. Pantera. On and on and on the list goes. Actually, I put on WAF 5 days ago before they shut off last week. And I heard, for my sake, in a long time, a Pantera song. And I was like, oh, damn, finally some real music. And I remember when Mr. Carey had on the air of Dimebag Darrell's death. And I stopped in the road. This, to me, man, is just a sad, sad day. The things that used to be is now history. The memories. Hell, I even got to go see Godsmack through AAF. I got to see Korn and sing on stage with AAF. With Korn. Jonathan Davis, Monkey. That was one of my highlights of my life, man. And AAF brought that forth. And I got to see the Cult through AAF. It was just, and now you're just looking at the radio right here, and it says 103 WAF, and you get this. Every lyric and every song is Jesus Christ, my Lord. Don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of Catholic people out there. Yeah, enjoy it as you can. But I won't. I mean, even to listen to Genesis on this, the Police. Like I say, the list goes on and on with the music that was once played. And now that the 2000s come in, and a lot of bands have lost, like Alice in Chains. Don't get me wrong, they still tour and everything. I put out full respect to the singer that they, pulled in to replace Lane Staley. But, Soundgarden, Nirvana, played. I mean, that still gets played today. Don't get me wrong, now you gotta go to WZLX, people. But these are landmark radio stations. These are what, built the music industry in Boston. Especially bands like Aerosmith, Godsmack, coming from Boston, hitting their airwaves. And man, it's just the list and list and list. Now what are these guys? I gotta keep up on this to see what they're doing, but I mean, surely enough, I'm sure they probably all got podcasts. Big hit with them things. But the C Intercom, I believe, is what sold this. And I don't know why didn't they go to iHeartRadio, where all the radio stations are combined. That was a brilliant idea of that company to do that. Because they own all them radio stations, and they know what they need to do to keep that radio station alive. But then again, it's got to do with today's rock. And I think that's what it mainly has to do. And you can't save a radio station when today's rock is just losing its fire. It's a sad day in history, boy. I got lyrics and shit written, riffs in my head That's what I would have loved to put on an album. I mean, I got lyrics right now. If I wanted to, I got a 13-track album I could put together. Hoping one day YouTube comes through. But put me a man band studio together. Get the drums, the bass, the guitar, vocals. I don't know if I'm gonna do the vocals anymore. It's my fucking voice is shot, but I like to throw something together like Trent Reznor, 9-Inch Nails. That man's a one-man band army right there. And that man is a genius. Hell, I remember listening to Gary Newman on AAF. Flock of Seagulls. It's like, come on. Where are the bands of today? Why are you just slapping shit together? And I guess this Greta Van Fleet couldn't keep up to the times either. You know, I see these guys all around social media and the news. I've heard some of their songs, but they're not catchy, man. It's bands like that I think is making it just, man. I'm sorry. Then you got I Love Peaches, Peaches Come for Trees. That was played on WAAF. All right, we get it. Don't sing about the struggles of life that you went through. Or, you know, just like the heartaches and the breakups and the makeups. Like what used to be said back in the day. I mean, I could think of a million chords on a guitar and start jamming, wailing, and bring forth the power just in my own head. But I'm not a great guitarist. I can play a little rhythm, get them riffs out, but someone's got to carry on the solos. But if I could collaborate with someone, it would be fucking... But one man ain't gonna save the world, you know? It's gotta be a complete band of genius. Which I don't know why. Oh man, I can't get over it. AAF is gone. I grew up with that radio station. Grew up with ZLX. And if that fucking station goes, man, I'll tell you this right now. I will stop listening to radio altogether. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Rock 101. I even do a little bit of 105.7. To my list. That's my wife's country. Hell, even country music today. I can't stand it. They're going more into dance, techno type shit. Yeah, it's keeping up with the times, but it's lousy. I even went on this station on Sunday to listen to old country. Hank Williams. That's right. I go far back as Hank Williams too. Charlie Pride. Caught some of his music back in the day. Got all kinds of stuff. Stuff that gets a catch right on you. The music of today does not do that for me. It's sad. It is sad. But anyways, it's the last time I'm going to see this radio station right here. WAAF. Gone. Till that next video, be safe, take care, and hopefully it ain't my favorite radio station. WZLX that goes away. Out.